So once you've taken your picture of yourself on the photocopier and you're happy with the portrait that you have, I like to just go over it just with marker or pen or something and just to highlight the areas that are the brightest and the lightest on there. And I just did that with a marker on the original one. Then I transferred the picture over to the black carbon paper, and you can do that a few different ways if you have the grid technique, or you can do it freehand if you want, or even if you put a little bit of white pastel or white chalk on the back of the photocopied picture, and then you can trace around it on there to get a little bit of a white outline on top of it. That works well also. Try to be a little bit light with it. If you want to be freehand, go right ahead, but if you're not really confident in doing your freehand, then by all means put a little bit of white pastel on the back of the other picture, and then you can kind of trace over it, but use the grid drawing as well if you want. When you're working with your white charcoal, it smudges well, so go right ahead and go in there, and when you're putting in your white charcoal, you can see on this, there's a lot of sharp lines in there. I probably could have used the side of the charcoal pencil a little bit better, but then you can rub it with a tissue or rub it with your finger so that those lines don't show up. But you can see you can still add much more highlights just by darkening and going over with the white charcoal pencil a bit more and keep adding your highlights, but you can also erase as well. So if you find you've gone too light, or if you want the lines, the deep lines and the fingerprints to come out a little bit more, go in with your eraser, and your eraser will allow you to erase off some of that white charcoal. And then as you erase the white charcoal, you'll show the black underneath, and you'll be putting some shadows in there. So don't forget that even with the white charcoal on this black paper, you can still use your eraser to do that. Once you're happy with your end result, and in this picture the hand and the face are in two separate spots, but you certainly could have, and maybe would have been better to put your hand somewhere closer to the face or over top of the face so there's not so much negative space in the picture. But with all that negative space, when you're done, go right ahead and take your pastels in there, your oil pastels or chalk pastels, and put some background in there. You can do some swirls, do some fireworks, do some bubbles, put some writing in there, put some words in there, whatever you want. You can add some color to that negative space if you want. It's optional, but you can go ahead and do that. So have fun with this project.